In the history of boxing, there's been a lot of good fighters and a lot of great jabs. And as you know, the jab is the key to fighting. It's the best way to steer, the best way to guide, the best way to set up other punches. It's a defensive punch. It's offensive, right? The jab is just super critical to fighting. In all of that I just said, there's been a few fighters who have been able to really excel without using a jab. You know, Henry Armstrong comes to mind. He really did a lot of great infighting and pressure fighting without using a jab. You know, Joe Frazier, he was another guy that used a lot of pressure to apply on guys without a jab, you know. So these guys really took it to another level. But the guy I'm talking about, this guy really had a great jab. It was just barely used. And that guy is nobody else but Roy Jones Jr. Now, I know a lot of y'all wondering what I mean and why I chose to pick Roy for this. But as you can see, Roy was so good at everything else that he really didn't have to use his jab. He was so fast. He was so agile. He could put all kind of punches together in quickness, like 3 and 4. Look at that. You know, just unprecedented. And so, for that reason, Roy, look at that. For that reason, Roy really didn't use his jab. George Foreman said that he believed that Roy Jones was the only fighter in the history of fighting that could win and fight at this level without a jab. He felt that Roy was so good he didn't need a jab. But if you watch this here, this is a clinic on how to throw a jab. I'm going to show you a few sequences here of Roy working his jab. Now look at the speed and the accuracy. Go back and watch this fight. You're going to really be able to get an idea of why I told you and why I say that Roy Jones has the best jab in the history of boxing, but just barely used. The speed and accuracy is unprecedented. You see him moving his feet laterally. You see him jabbing, coming in and out of his moves. Just really unprecedented. Watch the accuracy here. And you see Vinny trying to defend, but it's really hard to do. Watch the poise. Look at this. You see what I'm telling you? Look at the speed of it. See? Look at the accuracy on this man's jab. Now, I'm telling you that if Roy had emphasized this jab and really made it a part of his fighting style, he would have never lost, I believe. I believe that the accuracy, the speed, the arm angles, look, you don't know what the hell he's getting ready to do right now. You see, that's how, look at this. You don't know if you're going to jump hook you or jab you. Look at the jab, though. You see what I'm telling you? It's just, it was seldom seen, man, you know, because of all of the other, look at that jab. You can't really make this stuff up, you know, just accurate, man. You know, look how you working that jab. You never seen, believe me, when you go back and watch this fight, you're going to realize that you never seen a human being before throw jabs like this. You're going to see it in real time, believe me. And we seen a lot of great jabs. I'm a jab specialist, so I studied everybody that had a good jab. And let me tell you, by far, this is the fastest, the most accurate jab I've ever seen a person display. It's amazing that Roy Jones ever lost a fight. But like I said, all of that weight moving around and then, you know, the jumping in different styles, you know, I thought it eventually took a toll on him. But yeah, man, imagine if Roy would have ever been focused on his jab, man. I don't think there would have been a loss on his career unless he, you know, he still kept fighting later on and all of that. So that would have all still happened. But I think like the Tarver loss, the loss against Glenn Johnson, like these, look at this. Now this to me looks like what God would look like if he threw punches like this. Look, I think that's what God would look like throwing punches. Believe me. So yeah, man, I appreciate everybody tuning in for this one, man. This was a special video to my heart because I got a lot of love for Roy Jones and a lot of love for that jab that he put together. So thanks for y'all tuning in. Give me your opinions about what you think, man. You whether you think somebody else had a better jab or whatever the case may be. But if you're looking at it from the perspective that I'm telling you, nobody's jab was better than Roy's. Unfortunately for him, it was seldom seen. Peace.